Welcome back, guys, to another great episode of Texas Veteran Lawn Service. So what we have in this video and in this box is a chainsaw. It's not a new release model or anything like that from Echo, but it is brand new to us. And since we are going to be doing a lot of reviews and a lot of cool videos on some chainsaws, we went out and bought a few. So this is the case that you can purchase separate from the chainsaw. We went to our local dealer, picked up an Echo chainsaw. They had one of these, so we wanted to buy one of these too. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. This case will fit a lot of different Echo models. There you go. A lot of different Echo models. And I don't know what the largest that it'll fit. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so inside, as you can see, this is the CS-310 by Echo. It's kind of like their beginner residential model. And you know, it does have a 5-year residential consumer warranty and a 1-year commercial warranty, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and talk about this case a little bit. Now, in this case, it will hold all kinds of things. It'll hold the spark plug, it'll hold the spark plug tool, it'll hold a file kit, it'll hold you know, your stuff here, of course your stuff here. It'll hold some oil, bar and chain oil, as well as the engine oil. It has a little spot here where you can put, you know, your owner's manual or whatever you may want to put in there, and you know, so you can put all kinds of cool stuff in here. Plenty of room for that. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take it out of here. It just slides out like this, pretty easy. And then we're going to talk about this guy as soon as we get this out of the way. And it says Echo on. I mean, how cool is that? All right, so let's talk about this guy right here. Now, this is your entry level for homeowners chainsaw, and it's the CS-310, as you can see here, the model number. And the cool thing about this is it's pretty easy to operate. It doesn't have a ton of horsepower. It's not real heavy. So it's easy to maneuver around, you know, what you're going to be doing around the house, or you live out in the country and you're going to be cutting up some wood, you know, a couple times throughout the year. You know, this is the guy you're going to want. Maybe trim up some trees, maybe, you know, whatever. This guy will do the task. Now, this chainsaw does have a lot of features, and you can get it with a 14-inch or a 16-inch bar length. So the one on here, I don't know if it's 14 or 16, I can't remember, but you can buy the other bar and they'll both go on here, and then it's enough power to push that. Now, the other thing you wanna know is it is a 2-stroke engine. So with that being said, you are going to have your gas and oil mix right here, okay? And then here's going to be your bar and chain oil that's going to go in there. There's a lot of good brands out there that carry some bar and chain oil. Echo, Steel, Husqvarna. I personally use Husqvarna bar and chain oil. I have been for over 2 years that I've been dealing with 2-stroke stuff. So, I mean, I mainly, well, actually, I take that back. In my chainsaws, I use the bar and chain oil. So, you know, Husqvarna has 2-cycle or 2-stroke oil, but I don't really use that. I have, but as far as bar and chain oil, that's in there. Okay, so we're just going to kind of start here, you know, at the top and work our way around this guy, kind of get familiar with it. So this right here is a brake, and there you go. The brake's off now, so the chain does move. Okay. Now, all chainsaws nowadays have to have this brake. it's the law, it's the policy, it's the whatever it's called. They got to have this guy right here. So that goes down, and this stops that fast. Okay. So the other thing you want to keep in mind that a chainsaw can still hurt you and cut you even if it's not running. So what that means is if you don't have it in a case or a box or something, or a shelf or underneath the shelf, you can stump your toe on it, stump your shoe on it. It can fall and cut you. I mean, these guys are razor sharp, so you definitely want to be careful about that. All right. So here on this side, you're going to have your pull cord, and we're going to crank this guy up here in just a few minutes. All right. So you're going to have that. Now it has the I-30 starting system, so it's a little bit easier to crank start, so that's pretty good. On this back side here, you're going to have the on-off toggle switch, as you can see. And then on this other side, you're going to have your choke. Pull that guy in and out. Okay. And then you're going to have your fuel bulb. So you'll push that guy a couple times, and then you'll choke it and start it up and push the choke in. Okay. And then on this side here, you're going to have your two nuts here that tighten the bar on. Okay, and then your shield cover. And when you put your chain on, whether you're sharpening it on your own or you're replacing one, you want to be real careful and not get your fingers caught in these guys. You don't have to wear gloves. You can if you want to. With me, gloves snag on it more than anything else. So just know what you're dealing with and to be careful. Okay. And another day we will talk about sharpening your chain. And how to maintain that. So when you do put your chain on, you want to make sure these teeth are facing that direction, because this chain, okay, this chain rotates that direction, okay, and then it cuts. So make sure these teeth are facing that way. Okay, so now this does have the air filter at the top, and these two little snaps right here, this one and then one on this other side. Okay, let's see if we can take this off here. I haven't taken it off before, so I'm totally unaware how this works. Now, I have owned one other Echo chainsaw, and that's the 58-volt cordless. So I'm used to that. I'm not used to gas-powered chainsaws by Echo, so I'm not too familiar with all of them here. This is your air filter here. So when you need to replace this guy, it's going to be right underneath this lid. So pretty easy to get to. Looks like, let's see here. Yep, that guy comes right out. Just a kind of a little filter filament, nothing fancy. Some of the higher end models have two-stage air filters and things like that do really fantastic. So inside here, it's going to be your housing that's going to go just above your carburetor. Your carburetor's that guy right down in there. Okay. So that's about as far as you need to go in here. Your spark plug, which is right here. Okay, so whenever you need to change that out, whatever you may want to do or clean it or something, use your tool that's provided for you with this chainsaw. Take it off and put it back on. Just be careful not to cross thread it. If it's going on real easy, then you got it on. If you put it on, you make 1 or 2 turns, it's real tight, you've cross threaded it, back it right back out, and then try it again. It's got to be centered in just right. So, alright, so that guy's on there, the spark plug boot right there. Okay, then we have our muffler right here. Okay, and in that way all the exhaust fumes from the engine is going out in front of us. It can't go behind us, it can't go each side of us because it can get hot, so we're less likely to be on this side of the machine. So, plus if you're to set this down in this way or this way, you can get the grass on fire or catch anything else. So having it in the front is actually the ideal place. Now it does have an anti-vibration handle, so it does wrap around from the top and all the way down here. So that helps you, if you need to cut it like this, you can hold it this way and, whatever it is you're trying to do. Chainsaws can be used in so many different, positions. With it being a light chainsaw, that's what makes it even more dangerous. So you want to be, careful on that. But anyways, so let's get this guy back in here, back on. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So this handle comes here and then all the way to the other side. So you have, that's that's not quite 180 degrees, but however 90 degrees. You know, you don't really need to hold this other side. So anyway, so that's good. So you can see that this guy does move. That is the anti-vibration. There are springs. You probably won't be able to see them in there, but right here, let's see here, right in there, there's a spring coil, and then right here at the bottom, there's another spring coil. Okay, and another thing about the bottom is, you know, you want to make sure you're not setting this down in, you know, puddles of water or anything like that. You know, this is a flat surface, so make sure you're setting it on somewhat of a flat surface. You know, and if you're going to set a chainsaw down, you know, like say you're cutting and then you need to grab something else, turn it off right away. Okay, the last thing you want to do is fall on one, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so on this other side here, this talks about the emissions, and just talks about emissions control information, you know, a lot of different kinds of things. The engine displacement, and that it was approved February of this year. So, okay, so the other thing I'm going to do, because I'm new to a lot of chainsaws and I don't know a lot about all the different ones, especially the tech information, I'm going to read some stuff to you from Echo about this guy right here, and then we're going to cover some of the reviews too in that. So, coming right up. Okay, so I'm going to read some of these things to you about this machine right off of Echo's website. There's so much information, it's hard to remember everything, and I haven't been around chainsaws long enough to know all the different things they have, but I thought I'd go ahead and read this stuff to you guys. Okay, so it has a side axis chain tensioning. So what that means is that's this guy right here. Okay, so as you're using your chain, you know, you're going to get some slack in here. You'll loosen these up just a tad, enough to where this can move. Then you hit that guy, start rotating it, and it'll straighten this guy out. So that's pretty cool. It's available in 14 and 16-inch bars, so that's good. The engine is a 30.5 cc professional grade 2-stroke engine. Okay, that's a lot of power for this little guy. And for around the house, around, you know, you live on an acre, a couple of acres, this is probably more than enough. Unless you're trying to harvest trees, you know, and really cut down yard, you know, cords and cords and cords, and, you know, you're an arborist, you know, if you're not an arborist, this will probably do you just fine. So, okay, let's see what else. We got dual post chain brake. Okay, that means it's this guy right here. So instead of just having a one handle here, you know, or your hand accidentally goes through, whatever, it catches right here. So that's good. It's designed to, when you're doing this, you have a kickback. You know, it's designed to stop that right there. We're going to talk about kickbacks another day. The brake was already on. Okay, and it has the i30 starting technology. I don't know a whole lot about that. All I know is it's supposed to help with effortless starting. So I don't think it's similar to the compression button that you're going to find on the Husqvarna. I have a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. It's got that button. You press that, and it decompresses that chamber or something like that. So it's a lot easier to pull that cord. All right, so let's get on down to the features. Okay, so we talked about the engine. We talked about the starting system. Now it has an automatic clutch-driven oiler for reduced oil consumption. Every time this guy moves, you're going to get oil going because it's off that clutch inside. Okay. Let's see here. Toolless air filter cover for easy access. We talked about that. We talked about the anti-vibration. Let's get on down to the specifications. All right. This engine is pushing a 30.5 cc engine, which is great. The oil capacity is 8.8 fluid ounces. Okay. Now that's going to be the bar and chain oil is what they're referring to. All right. The dry weight with no fuel in it does have fuel in it because the dealer wanted to crank it up, so it does have some fuel in it, and it's got some bar and chain oil in it. So, but if it's completely dry, you're looking at 8.8 pounds. But what we're going to do is we're going to weigh it here in a minute. We're going to make sure it's filled to the top, well, just below the top on the fuel and the bar and chain oil. Then we're going to weigh it. We have a digital weigh scale because I want to know what is the operating weight of something. You know, you can buy something, some kind of power equipment from the store, and it can be, oh, it weighs 7 pounds. Yeah, that's dry. And let's just say it has a gallon or a half a gallon fuel, you know, that you need to put in there, well, the weight's going to go up. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but because chainsaws aren't that big. But if you're, you know, using this thing all day long, you know, that weight kind of, you know, sneaks up on you. Okay, so let's see. The sprocket cover is plastic. Okay. The ignition system is digital, so that's cool. The bar type is a double guard 91. Not sure what that means. I do know on this bar, which is good, this guy right here, okay, is a spot for grease. You have a little sprocket up here, a little kind of a star that goes like this that helps keep the chain rotating around that corner. You want to make sure you hit that with grease, you know, every time you go to use it. So if you're going to use this guy, you know, starting out the day, pump a couple grease, a couple times, one on each side, and then you're good for the whole day, you know. Okay, let's see here, but you may want to check that throughout the day because it just depends really how much you're using it for that day. Carburetor is a butterfly valve diaphragm. Again, don't know much about that, but it's got one of them guys in it. Alright, sprocket type, spur, oiling system, automatic clutch driven, we talked about that. Consumer warranty, 5 years. Guys, that's a big deal. If you're a homeowner, 5-year warranty, that's pretty good. And then of course, that's for residential. And then commercial, for us guys who are out there working using this guy, we get 1 year. That's still a long time. So it's definitely good on that. The fuel capacity for your fuel is going to be 8.5 fluid ounces, so that's quite a bit. All right, let's hop on down to customers' reviews. Now, this is just on Echo's website, okay? There's other websites we're going to have reviews on this, Amazon, Google, anywhere, any site that has power equipment, and someone has bought from there, then they're going to post there more than likely. Or, you know, if they bought it from somewhere else, they're going to go maybe to the manufacturer website and post something. So this is just covering Echo's website. Okay. All right. So we have a total of, let's see here, total of 440 reviews on this chainsaw on Echo's website. Okay. It's rating at a 4.8. Okay, star, which isn't bad. All right. So we have 1 through 5 stars, and it gives us a number on how many of each one. All right, so we're only going to do 5 and 4 because that's really all that matters. And the most is the 5-star. The 5-star rating has been voted 372 times. That's pretty good. And then 4-star is 54 times. That's a pretty good amount too. The average customer rating is 4.8. The value 4.7. Quality 4.7. Most helpful, favorable review. Let's see. Here we go. 5-star review. It's a great saw. I have always heated my home with a wood stove, and I have always cut my own firewood. I have used and worn out much bigger saws by some of the other big names. Most of them have only lasted 1 season of heavy use. My Echo CS-310 is still going strong after 2 seasons of cutting firewood and frequent year-round use on the farm. I take care of this saw, but I do not baby it. It starts easy, it runs great every time. I have no problem cutting any size tree that I would have used an 18-inch bar 4 in the past. And since I am a petite 54-year-old woman, one of my favorite features of this saw is that it is so lightweight that it does not wear me out like the big saws. Now, this is the real deal. I'm not making that up. Okay, that's on Echo 5-star from Farm Grill. Okay. Okay, guys. One of the other cool things about this saw, of what it comes with, is a tip guard. Now, a lot of people don't use these. Most professionals don't. But if you're a homeowner and this is your first time buying a chainsaw, I highly recommend you put this on. If your chainsaw doesn't come with one, find out from your manufacturer what model tip guard can you get for your chainsaw. And the reason being is when we're cutting things, the safest place to cut something is right in here, is below. The second safest place to cut something is here. So you have the downward cut and then you have the upward cut. You're going to need to do both. You don't want to be cutting around that tip trying to cut something, because what happens is this saw, the chain spins this way. This guy's going to go right up like that, and it's going to split your wig. You're going to have a bad hair day, not to mention splitting headache. So that tip prevents that from happening. So it comes with this metal guard and these this nut and this bolt. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. It's pretty easy to put on. You can put it on. Looks like it only goes this way here, or you could put it on. Can you put it on both sides? Looks like you can. Okay, so you can put it on any side that you want. Doesn't matter. So it has these two holes here, and it has this one little pop-out part. Now we're only going to use this top screw, and as you can see here, it's going to go in here and then in that little divot there. Okay, so it's pretty easy to put on. You put your little screw through, and you put your nut on here. Now the only thing about having this guy on is now you won't be able to, like if you're going to go a full length cut, I don't know if it's 14 or 16, but a full length cut, you won't be able to, because now that device is in the way, which is okay. Alright, so we'll make sure this guy's tight. Alright, she's tight. Although it's not a lock nut, so I may change that out and put a nylon locking nut on there, because that'd be a little bit safer, because then it can't back its way out through vibration. So okay, I wanted to point that out to you guys. It's so important. The other thing you want to pay attention to is your manual. Okay, is your manual. This manual is written in several languages, and it offers a lot of good information. It offers you registration. So if you want to register your chainsaw, here you go, product registration. That way you can get the warranty, because the warranty isn't automatic when you buy it. That's only the return at the store. Okay, so when you purchase this, you need to go into your page 59, into this manual, and you need to fill that out, and then I think you mail it in, or you might even be able to do it online. At that point, they're going to ask you probably for the date of purchase, maybe a receipt or something like that, I don't know. And then that way they can actually have a starting point for that warranty. Okay. Now the other stuff that's going to be in here, which is good stuff, it's going to be going to have troubleshooting things. Okay. How to sharpen the chain. Okay, it's not a blade. Chainsaws don't have blades. They have a bar. They have a chain. Okay. Now some people call these teeth, and you can, but they're not a blade. Okay. Tells you how to take off links, put on links, how to check all kinds of stuff, muffler checks, muffler replacements, spark plug gapping. I mean, just all kinds of information in here that you would want to know. If you want to know, you may not want to know, so you don't have to know. How to cut it, good cutting techniques, okay? Tree falling, I mean, just really good information. I'm not saying you have to read all of it, but definitely don't discard it until you at least look at it once. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in there I didn't even know was in there. So that's pretty much about it for this guy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and weigh up this Echo chainsaw. So it does have full fuel, and so we got this guy weighing up here. Alright, so let's see if I can turn over here to us. Alright, so we're looking at 11.8, 11.9, 11.8. So 11 pounds, 8 ounces, 11 pounds, 9 ounces. You know, there's something. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start this guy up. The dealer did start it up for me yesterday, or maybe the day before I bought it, last day or two. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on. Go ahead and pump it a couple times. Pull the choke out. Break this off. That's definitely easy to pull. I was so used to pulling my bigger one, the Husqvarna. I was like, that was actually pretty easy. All right, so you hear that partial start. You're going to push the choke in, and generally 1 or 2 pulls after that, it's ready to go. That's it. Well, so this video is just an introduction to the Echo's 310, the CS-310. So we're definitely going to be putting some other videos together about this guy, using it, the cutting quality, the cutting speed for different types of thicknesses of wood. So we're even going to go in and show you how to do tune-ups and things like that, how to sharpen the chain. So we're going to show you all kinds of cool stuff about this guy. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Kevin, and you're watching Texas Veteran Lawn Service. Be sure to subscribe, click that bell notification. We're putting up videos left and right. We have almost 300 videos in 2 years that we've had our channel. So we're always putting up stuff. We're writing other videos right now, or planning them out of what we're going to be doing. A lot revolves around chainsaws and some other stuff we're not going to tell you about. But anyway, so we hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave a comment below on if this is something that's interesting to you, or that you're interested in, or if you have this chainsaw, or if you have a chainsaw that works really good and you're a homeowner. I'd like to know what it is. So I definitely read all of the comments that are there, and I do my best to answer all of them. So I'm Kevin with Texas Veteran Lawn Service. I appreciate you watching.